So I thought I'd do like a quick review of the Yamaha Virago 535. This one here is a 1991, so it benefits from the header tank there for a bit more fuel. Picked this up pretty cheap, around 850 quid. So yeah, right. So engine wise, the performance is very good. I've just moved up from a 125 Suzuki Marauder, so like the speed of this and acceleration is, you know, like a huge difference. Well impressed with it. Maintenance, you know, it's pretty easy to work on. I've done the valve clearances myself. It's basically you just got to undo this tank and lift it up a bit, take the seats off, take the battery out and the battery holder, and you can see there, there's a valve cover, so that one's easy to get to. Then you got the other one there, the camera will show it, yeah. And then on the other side you got a cover there, and one which you can't really see unless you take the battery out. But yeah, it's a bit fiddly, but once you've done that, you know, it's not too difficult. Just time consuming really. Obviously changing the oil is a piece of piss really as well. You got the oil filter which is in there. It's just 3 bolts. Take that out and the filter's behind there. And then you just drain the oil on this side. Then you got your final drive fluid. Again, that's pretty easy. You basically undo that one to fill it. There's one at the bottom which you undo to drain it out. But you only have to do that like every, I don't know, about 10,000 miles if that. So yeah. I got this one, yeah, it's been customised a bit. It's got aftermarket indicators which I'm not too keen on, but you know, I might just buy the originals because I like the classic look of it anyway. Someone's fitted Hagon or Hagon shocks, which I think makes the ride a bit too firm really, but yeah, I'm not too fussed about that. Build quality, really good, considering this is a 1990 model, so what, it's 22 years old. If you look at the chrome, you know, not a problem. It seems to have kept really well. The odd bit of rust every, like, in a few areas, but nothing to worry about really. It's also been resprayed. I didn't do that. Someone sprayed it blue at some point, which looks better than a lot of the stock colours. You get like burgundy and cream, which I'm not too keen on myself. Bought this leather tag protector here. Got like a little case for a sat nav or whatever, just to stop it getting scratched and that. That was about 30 quid off eBay. Got that used, about 50 quid brand new I think. Got this like tool roll type thing which I've just strapped to the sissy rack. It doesn't look amazing, but you know, it goes with the tank pad with the studs in it. Yeah, fuel economy not amazing. I'll get between 80 and 100 miles before I have to flip reserve, which is here, which is also convenient because on my last bike it has like a manual fuel tap, so you'd sort of have to reach over around here and turn it, so it's a lot easier having like an electric fuel reserve on the handlebar. One thing I will say about that though is it's very common that the fuel reserve breaks down on these bikes. The reason being is it has like a solenoid at the bottom of the tank. You can't really see it, but I don't know if that'll show it. There's a petcock there, but behind that there's the solenoid, and that can sort of seize up from corrosion. So when you flick the switch, it doesn't shunt and open the valve, which basically means you'll run out of fuel, or you'll feel the bike sort of bogging down, starving of fuel. You'll flick reserve, nothing will happen, and you'll conk out basically. The way to know if the solenoid is jammed is shake the bike. Like once you've run out of fuel and you flick reserve and nothing's happened, shake the bike, and if you hear fuel at the bottom, that means it's basically jammed. It's not a massive job to take it off the bottom of the tank and clean it. This is what I had to do with mine because it didn't work. It's just something to bear in mind if you go to view a Virago, if you're thinking of buying one. The best way to tell if it's working is you'll hear it click, which I'll demonstrate now. So it was a bit of a ball ache for me. I was a bit pissed off to find out it didn't work, but it's all sorted now. I don't know if you'll hear this. It's the solenoid that's down here, so you should be able to hear this when I flick the switch. Flicked it a few times there. So yeah, just something to bear in mind. Also, the stock mirrors on the Virago are pretty naff, in my opinion. So I got some new ones, like sort of teardrop type shape, just for better visibility really. Also, the previous owner that had this bike, he said he like burnt his leg and his trousers on this exhaust pipe quite a lot. So he bought this sort of shield thing here. It's still really hot anyway, but hopefully it wouldn't burn. So yeah, it's pretty good. Also, it does have aftermarket silencers on. These are Remus ones, which are pretty nice. I've heard a stock 535 before and I wasn't too keen on the sound. Like, it sounded alright, but it didn't sound like a cruiser, if you know what I mean. Bearing in mind it's a V-twin, you want it to sound a bit sort of throaty. So yeah, I definitely recommend either drilling holes in the original exhaust, or just buying an aftermarket set. I'll do a quick demo of it running now. The sound quality on this camera isn't very good, to be fair, but I'll give you a basic idea. There we go, I've got it running. It's a very nice looking bike. It's very it's light for a cruiser and it's quite thin. And all the weight is sort of low down around the engine. So it's very easy to turn and manoeuvre. Get close to the exhaust here. Get back a bit so you can hear it. Obviously this is discontinued now, and it's the Yamaha Dragster, or V-Star in America I think it's called, which is much more of a like classic American look. It's a lot heavier. I think it's about 50 kilo heavier or something like that. It's got a bit more chrome on it. So that'll probably be my next bike, because you know, with this being discontinued, parts are going to get harder and harder to find, and obviously eventually I will upgrade. But for a cheap I wouldn't say beginner's bike, but beginners after you've passed your test and got, you know, some road experience on a 125 or something, I'd say it's a good bike, especially if you're into cruisers, because it accelerates really quick, but it's not rapid. Do you know what I mean? It's not really quick, so you're gonna, you know, break speed limits too off. Well, you can, but you know, it's not something you're gonna kill yourself on unless you're a bit of an idiot. So yeah, I definitely recommend it. It's very easy to manoeuvre. I've heard the engine's bulletproof. I've read about someone that's got a 535 and it's done something like 120,000 miles on it. This one has only done 16,000, so hopefully, fingers crossed, I won't have to do much to it, except obviously the tappets and the oil change every now and again, and brakes, you know, just the usual stuff. So yeah, anyone wants any like help, or I'll answer any questions on my YouTube on the video page. Also, the Haynes manual states you have to take the bottom tank out to get to that reserve solenoid, because it is a really common problem. I've actually managed to remove the solenoid without really interfering with the tank, and I'll explain how to do that if anyone's really bothered. You know, if not, then whatever. So yeah, hopefully this video has been of some help. So yeah, I'd really recommend this bike. Really nice looking, pretty fast, and car just went past, and a very good beginner / intermediate type cruiser.